find, there we go, there I am. Good afternoon, Pam. I'm just making sure that I got everything set up and that I see myself on the computer. So there, okay, so there I am. That's good to know. Welcome back, everybody. It seems like not too long ago we were all gathered together doing our barn quilts for the January kit. So welcome, welcome. Hello, Diane and Linda and Beth. Hi, Jasmine. Let's see who else is on here. Can I make this bigger? There we go. Now I can see. Okay, hold on here. Tony, Carol. Okay, I need to bring my computer closer. Oh my goodness, and I need to make it bigger. Okay, so Pam was the first one on, and let's see. Okay, hey Vesta, I knew I saw your name in there scrolling by. Hi Peggy. Okay, I'm going to make this smaller now, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to gush a little bit about my birding trip to Minnesota last weekend. Amazing trip. Got my life bird that I wanted, my #1 life bird, which was the great gray owl. We saw a total of 9 of them, and got pictures of a sleeping boreal owl, which they don't come down here that often. So it was really, really fun. The temperatures weren't that bad. I mean, it didn't feel like we were, you know, outside of Ohio. So you just dress for the weather. You're mostly in a car. So you're butt birding is what we call it. We go butt birding. And it, you know, when you're with your friends and you're getting all these experiences, it was just really, really awesome. I want to go back every year. And you know what? I love the beauty of Minnesota. I loved Wisconsin. When we were going through Wisconsin, we made a detour to find, there's a management area that does, it's for prairie chickens. And we didn't see any prairie chickens, but when we left there and we were getting back on track to get to where we're going, there were so many barn quilts, and they would just like pop up so fast that I didn't even get to get pictures. So we got barn quilts in Wisconsin. Beautiful, beautiful scenery and friendliness of the state of Minnesota. Now, mind you, we were just in Duluth, so I mean, we're just over the state line, but we went to 2 harbors, and it was just beautiful. And on the way home, we stopped and got some Wisconsin cheese to bring back. And I don't even want to talk about Chicago. That traffic is just horrendous. But we made it. We made it there. We made it back. It was epic, and just wonderful. I haven't even gone through the pictures on my camera yet. So when I do that, I'll share some pictures of the owls and the, let's see, we had Canadian gray jays and lots of finches. I got to see a black-billed magpie, I think they're called. That was a life bird too. And some ducks that were right outside of our hotel room that I had never seen before. So it was really, really good. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and while I'm doing that, please greet each other, and then we're going to get started on today's mystery quilt card. Oh, come on. Flip. Oh man, you know what I forgot to mention? You could probably see it, but I had some t-shirts made from the trendy quilter in, I think she's in Washington, but her Etsy store does everything quilting. And she made me some custom t-shirts so that I can wear them to On Stage in March and just, you know, kind of self-promote myself. But it says Chirpy Card Maker, and then there's an Ohio star and a little bird in the middle of the star. Now, since Facebook changed some things around, I couldn't reverse the mirror so that you could see it in the right orientation. But yeah, it says Chirpy Card Maker, and then I've got my quilt block and a little bird on it. So I got them for, like I said, On Stage. But yeah, just to kind of self-promote, and you can order the shirt too if you want. I make no money on it, but I know Amber would love your business. But if you would go to her store, you kind of have to search for them in the back because they're considered custom, but they're orderable. So if you like to make quilt cards and you follow me, if you want a t-shirt, you can go get one. They're purple. So enough about that. Beth, oh, I remember you telling me that your husband is in wildlife, and I didn't know he was a biologist, but oh my gosh, it was amazing. Yes, Tony, you and Jean are rubbing off on me, although I will never have as many t-shirts made as you guys do. But it is fun in the planning, that's for sure. And Sharon's here. Helene is here. Shirley, Kathy, Kay. Good afternoon, everybody. Do I have an extra one laying out on my table? Did I bring those up? Hold on a second, because I got them in 2 different colors. Hold on a sec. Now, I have one that I can show you. Let's see. This one will say Chirpy Stamper because I got it for a team member of mine. I have to mail it to her yet. But just where you see Stamper, put Card Maker. So let's see if we can get this in there. Let me kind of zoom out. Let's see, can I zoom out? Oh, there you go. So I don't know if you can see the little bird, but see the little bird right here? So I got this for my team member, and then Amber did some in a purple heather, a heather color. So I got this, and this is more like in a charcoal print also. But I got this color too. And this one says Card Maker so that you can see it. So the bird shows up a little bit better in this. But I think they're so cute. And, you know, just a way to try to make yourself stand out. And aren't they cute? So both there's like 3 different colors of purple that you can choose from. And yeah, so if like after the live, let me put a link to Amber's store, and you know, let's throw her some business. She does amazing things with quilt mugs and quilt t-shirts, and everything's about quilting. So let's show Amber some love, and I will post a link after the live, okay? So now let's get back to business. Let's bring this in somewhat so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. The bird does stand out better on the lighter one. You know, sometimes, you know, you sacrifice a little bit of this for a little bit of that. But I just think they're adorable. And the Ohio Star, being that I'm from Ohio, and, you know, it just kind of really personalized it. So, hi Joyce. Okay, this gave everybody who was coming in a little bit late a chance to catch up with us while I showed you the t-shirts. So let's, if you prepped any pieces for today's card, I post those the day before I go live. I'm just going to sort my designer series paper here. We're going to do some cutting. We're going to do some scoring. And right now I am just looking for the pieces that I need for the cutting. I don't need that one. It's just these. And then we'll do some scoring on a couple other pieces. Okay? You can, though, when we kind of like put a pattern in that we can follow to keep our lines straight, you can do that by scoring, or you can use a pencil. Just draw lightly, because you will need to erase in areas. But if you can score and still see where you need to place your pieces, then you can do that too. So let's bring in the trimmer. And this large square is 1 7/16, and I believe 1 7/16 sits right behind 1 1/2. So if I'm looking at my ruler, here's my 1, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7/16 is the line right behind the half. Okay, so that's what this square is. And what we're going to do is we need to create 4 triangles. So I'm going to set my square on point in the trimmer, and you'll notice I have a point in the cutting track on both the top and the bottom, and my little bumpers on the Stampin' Up! Trimmer right here are helping hold that point in place. I love these little bumpers. And I'm not going to come in cutting at that corner, so I'm just going to kind of hover my cutting blade over and then push it down and slide it up and down to cut it in half. Now we're going to cut it in half, each of these pieces again. So I'm going to turn 1/2. You could stack them if you want to, but sometimes the bottom one will slip a little bit and you don't see it, and then you're off just a little bit. So I'm going to put my point in the cutting track. We're going to cut that in half, and we're going to repeat with this, with the other half. I love these Saturday afternoon lives. Made me start thinking maybe I should change my time, but I don't know if I'll do that, but I do enjoy that it's a Saturday afternoon. Oh, Vesta, your puppy's crying. You better go hold that baby. He needs you. The 4 1-inch squares, we need to cut those into 4 triangles also. So again, just going to do the same thing. We're going to cut them in half. Like I said, you could stack them. I thought that was a really nice way to save a little time. And then I discovered that my triangle underneath, some of them moved a little bit. And so I think, you know, it doesn't really take that much longer to cut them one at a time. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do one at a time. It's Saturday afternoon. What do we have going on? We just get to hang out together. Just take life slow. Slow down a little bit. Have some fun talking to each other. I think you're really going to love this block. I did it in, I made some samples from the storybook paper that I want to show you when we're all done. And I've got it in my head. I want to use the blue countryside papers and then go to the designer series country woods and have like the shiplap background. Wait till you, I mean, you're going to get so many ideas, but I think that one will be really pretty too. And I meant to have samples of those done for you, but I fell asleep on the couch last night after watching a show. I like to come up late to my craft room, and you know, pretty soon I'll look at the clock and it'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I need to get to bed. But it's so peaceful and quiet up here that I get lost in time. Last night I got lost on the couch. So I didn't get that other sample rolling. But I can't wait to see what papers you choose when you make this quilt block. And when you, the papers you choose, the quilting that you choose, and then you go off into another realm because you've got another idea that you want to try. That's the great part of our community group on Facebook. It's called Quilt Cards and More. We share all kinds of different, not only what I show on my live, but it's a free place to, you know, show what other quilt patterns you found and how you did them. And there's some girls that are really generous, and, you know, they'll create a PDF and upload it to the files. It's a very sharing group. And if you're not a member, you need to be. I will say that you need to answer some join questions. I'm a stickler on it. So if you joined and you don't know why you're not in the group yet, maybe it was because you didn't answer the questions. Okay, so I know, Beth. Oh yeah, next weekend is the Card Play online retreat. So Karen Titus and Holly Sutton, this is their baby. And I do it along with them. And then there's Barb and Julie from Washington. So it's Friday evening, all day Saturday. There's 12 Facebook Lives. There's 24 PDFs. There's games, interactive questions. But it's all product from the new catalog. You can still sign up if you want to do all the online access. I do have a Google form for that. The cost is $45. It's $40.50 if you're an All Good Cards Club member. I can put a link to the Google form on that also, because you can still get in with that. The make and take option, you're not going to get your packet before retreat. I have one packet left. If you don't care that you don't have the paper right on time, and you want the embellishments and a half a pack of the bokeh paper, a half a pack of the plaid paper, all the cardstock you need, and the 8 envelopes for our featured projects, you can still get that last pack. But just know, chances are, even if I mail it Monday, you may not get it by Friday. Maybe you will. Priority mail, you could. Okay, so now let's do some scoring. So this is a 4-inch square of designer series paper. And what I'm going to do is, you can score or use a pencil, but we're going to make a 1-inch border all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to line the left side of my paper up here on the 1-inch line. And what you can do is you can take a pencil and you could put it right down into your track, or use a ruler. Okay, and we're just going to give it a 1/4 of a turn counterclockwise. And this is just a guide. And that's what it looks like with a pencil. If you want to do it with your scoring blade, you can do that too. It's probably not going to show up as well. There it did. And, you know, we're going to quilt our cards, so don't worry about that line being there, because chances are your quilting is going to just make it disappear. So there I scored, and here are pencil lines, okay, just to show you both ways. And then our card base is a fun fold that Robin Armbrecht had shown on her paper crafting play date last week. I wanted to give her a shout out. She gave me a shout out last week. I want to return the favor. Now, this is a fun fold that she saw Julie Davison do. It's like a Z fold kind of thingy. So I've got a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4, and it really does. This is another fun fold that will really showcase a large square quilt block really, really well. So we're going to square it 4 1/4. Now, if you want to put your arm out on your trimmer and slide over to 7, you can do that. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to score it 4. Okay, so you can either do 4 1/4 and 7, or do 4 1/4, flip your card base around and come in from the other end at 4 inches. Okay, so I think that's all we need to do. Now, to fold this, I fold it with the 4 1/4 inch side to my left. Okay, so I put the 4 1/4 inch side to my left, and I fold this tail under, and then I fold it back to make this backward Z. Okay, and now I'm just going to burnish my fold lines, my score lines. And let's get back to the 4 1/4 inch side, because that's where our quilt block is going to go. Okay, so it opens like this. We're going to set this aside for right now. We'll decorate it all in a little bit. I'm going to bring in that 4-inch square of Designer Series paper. This is my background paper. Now, because it's so thin, and sometimes, depending on how deep your quilting is, you can crack the Designer Series paper. I've chosen to give it some stability with a 4-inch square of cardstock underneath it. You're not going to see this square, but I did try to match the color just so that it doesn't look like a different color on the side. Okay, if that makes sense. And now we just need to glue it. Glue our Designer Series paper onto that foundation there, or that support square. Okay, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just felt like it gave the quilt block some more stability. Okay, so there we have the beginning of our quilt card. Now I'm going to bring in the 4 larger triangles, and the 90-degree angle that's here in my corner is going to fit right in the corner of these squares that, wait, let me, don't glue anything down yet. Yep, I already did it wrong. Okay. This corner is going to go in the outer corner. Okay, so now we're going to glue our larger triangles to the outside corners. So you're just matching up your corners. Okay, kind of looks like a snowball block right now. So just go ahead and put these pieces down. Get it right into the corner. Make sure you're in the corner and you're to the outside edges. Okay, I'm going to turn my block a quarter of a turn so that I keep just going right up into that upper left-hand corner. I don't have to think twice about where am I supposed to be going with my pieces because they're going right in the same place. Okay. The sun is shining here today. Everything was frozen due to the rain we had yesterday. So it took a while before we could get into the car doors. Our back screen door ended up freezing at the bottom. And the dogs are wanting out. I can't get the door open. So I had to kind of put a little bit of warm water at the bottom. And then it popped open. But yeah, we had a nice little freeze last night. Tomorrow we're supposed to get to 48, pushing 50 in January. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so there we have our 4 corners. Now I'm going to bring in the smaller triangles. And we're going to use one of each on all 4 sides. Thank you for sharing, Marcia. Julie, score lines on 4. I don't know what that... I don't know what your question is. Oh, okay. On the 4-inch square, they're 1 inch on all 4 sides, Sharon, if that's what you mean. I scored 1 inch on all 4 sides on the 4-inch square. Score it or use a pencil. But you're going to have to erase. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to take... I'm going to start with something that really complements the colors to get started. It doesn't matter because I'm going to switch it on all 4 sides. You can do the exact same pattern if you want, but I'm going to switch it up. So the longest side to my triangle is going to be right on that pencil line or the score line. That's going to get you started, and what we're going to do is we want to make sure that we're straight. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick another color. And this quilt block is called Circling Geese. Okay? So if this was a quilt pattern, these would be flying geese units. And we just want our geese flying in the same direction. Okay? And I'm just going to use one of each color. My bottom point is really close on or close to that score line. And I'm watching my edge on top. Okay, so you're just using those lines as a guide. And the paper that I'm using is from SaleABration. Is it Fruit Salad or something like that? I got it and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this paper. I have seen demonstrators doing some really cute cards with the paper, so I was excited to try it. And then when this block turned out the way it did, I was like, okay, next time I place an order, I'm getting another pack of this paper. Now, when you do 4, you're done. We're going to rotate it, and we're going to put our geese going you know, following each other again. Now what's fun is when you turn it, you can kind of see if your geese are flying straight. Now there's always a goose that has to like disrupt the whole pattern and want to do its own thing. Straighten him out, okay? Don't let him do that. Make sure that your geese are all following each other. Now I'm not going to start off with the red this time. I'm going to start off with the green, and I'm going to continue the pattern. Just want to switch it up, but you can do whatever order you want. So now I got to find my score line. Where are you? Where are you? I can't see it now. Much easier with a pencil. I think I got it right there. But your corner should match up really close to the corner of your larger triangle. There we go. I think that gets me started pretty good. And if I started with green, now I'm going to go to this multi-colored piece. Just going to put that right next to that one. If you're a speedy piecer, you just keep going and I'll catch up with you when I'm done putting all of my pieces on. But don't do anything until I catch up with you. Okay, and then I want to come in with the red. I love this piecing. I love really quick cards. It's another one of my favorites. But just the slowing down and taking your time with the piecing, I just find it very enjoyable. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it a quarter of a turn. And we started with green. We're going to start with my triangle that's got some multicolors going on. So if you're wondering how I chose my colors, I pulled colors from my focal piece that is 2.5 by 4. This is my focal piece, and so I just pulled colors from that pattern right there. So let's see, I end with that. I start with orange. I go, the next one is orange. And this piece of designer series paper, it's orange on both sides. One's got a more solid pattern, and then the other side has some different shades of orange and daffodil delight in it. And now I need red. So sometimes when you pick up your piece and you turn it over, you might change your mind on what side you want to use. And when you're doing a scrappy quilt block like this, that just gives you all kinds of options. Scrappy quilts, scrappy cards are a lot of fun because you can just free yourself from all the planning. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it, and my geese are pretty much following each other pretty straight. And now for the last of the flights, I think I have to start with orange. That's going to go up here. Okay, then red. Green. This is a beautiful block that will highlight, you could stamp the center. You can stamp your sentiment if you want to. I chose to stamp my sentiment on a circle, and that will fill the center. But you could do your stamping right on here. You might want to stamp it before you do the scoring and putting your quilt block together. That way, if you have a mishap with your stamping, you haven't just done all this piecing for naught. Okay, so let's turn it just to make sure they're going straight. Okay, they are. And so I'm just going to give this glue a second to dry, and then I'll come back in and I'll erase those pencil lines. So while we're waiting on that to dry for just a minute, I want to check comments. Hi, Amanda. Okay, you catch replay. Oh, you're going to make Valentine's. That sounds like so much fun. Kathy says, good use for that DSP because I didn't care for it. You know, think of maybe side A isn't your favorite, but think about what the B side looks like. It always comes in handy when you're looking for a different pattern, but you're looking for a certain color. I'm going to bring in my card base. Now I'm going to flip it over to the back. I want to make sure I'm working on the right side. Oh, that's the 4 1/4 side. So this is my right side. This is going to frame my quilt block. So when I flip it over, this should be 4 inch, and this is my back. Okay, this is my back. So you know me, I like to put some paper on the back. So I've got a 4 1/4 by 2 inch piece of designer series paper. You don't have to do your backs. Now I could have, maybe I should have quilted this for some texture, but too late now. It's got glue on it. I wasn't thinking ahead. I could have saved it so when I did all my quilting, it was part of the process. I'm going to put that down on the back. I'm going to go ahead and sign my quilt card with my label. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to open it up to the inside, and working on this piece here, you can if you want to, but I'm going to quilt this 1 1/4 inch strip when I quilt my quilt card. So don't put that down if you want to do any quilting, but I can bring in the 2 1/2 by 4 piece. I just love this side of this paper. And I'm going to try and leave the same amount of space on 3 sides. And then when I get done quilting that strip right here, I'm just going to butt that right up next to this piece. But I want to quilt this first. So that's going to have to wait. Now this panel right here, that's where my focal piece of designer series paper is going to go. I wanted to keep him separate from the quilt block because I want the quilt block to shine. It's the star of the show, not this piece right here, but this piece will look kind of like explain how all the colors tied into each other. Okay, so there's that. I just love this fun fold. Okay, so I am going to step away for just a moment. Oh, you know what I got to do? I need to erase my pencil lines. My station for my cut and emboss machine is behind me. So I'm going to have to step away to do that. And I'm going to use the Starstruck embossing folder that's part of the SaleABration. But I'm going to deboss it, meaning I'm going to put my block in upside down so that the texture is recessed into my quilt block. It's not laying on top. And really, I don't know why I'm getting quite so picky, because all the texture can easily hide some of those pencil lines. Okay, so I'm going to take this over and I am going to quilt it, and I'm going to quilt this piece also. And if you're wondering what side will do the debossing, if you're holding your embossing folder in front of you and you see the Stampin' Up logo on top, you're going to open up the folder and you're going to turn your block upside down. So the Stampin' Up logo will emboss. Turning it upside down will deboss. Okay. So when I open up my folder, the wrong side is embossed. You can see that the texture is laying on top. And here it's recessed into my quilt block. Is this not stunning? Oh my gosh, I just love these colors together. I love the texture. Now what I'm going to do is, because this is thicker, I am just going to play with kind of, it's wanting to curl up this way, so I just want to gently just coax it to where it's not curling up. If anything, I want it to curl down. Same way with this piece here. Okay, and now I'm going to bring back the card base. And I'm going to put this right next to it. And the texture, you just want to give it a really good press, because the embossing is on that opposite side. And you just need to make sure that when you put the adhesive on, that it's catching both layers there. Okay, so there's the inside. And now I'm going to put my quilt block on. Be careful. I have a tendency to get too close to the edge. So I'm trying to give myself a little room for that glue to move around. And let's see. It doesn't really matter what, you know, where you put it down at, unless you know you want to see a certain color. And I'm just gonna put it down with when I first started my geese there. And this should have an even border on all four sides. And remember, you have texture on the opposite side, so you're gonna need to really press this and give it some help in adhering to your card base. So just keep pressing, especially the corners. Just keep pressing. Keep pressing those down. Get some things out of my way here. Just keep giving it a press. So the quilt card opens like this. I just think this is just so stunning. I used a die from Spotlight on Nature. A 2-inch circle fits really nicely here in the middle. Now, here's something to think about. If you're going to stamp your sentiment, think about the quilting. I'm going to show you a card in my samples where I got so excited putting it together, I forgot to quilt. So that really wouldn't make a difference. But I want to show you how it, just the flat look versus the quilted look, both are fine. Both, they're options. If you don't have an embossing machine, you can still make quilt cards. You don't have to quilt. It just gives you a different look when you add texture. So I'll show you that card, that sample. So I'm going to put my sentiment, and now the sentiment is from Layering Leaves. That's Jackie Bolheis's $1 million stamp set. I love all the greetings that are in there, and I stamped in early espresso. We're going to put some dimensionals on here. I love the fonts that she used for her stamp set. And I just love the way they'll fill a big space really nicely. What? What are you doing? Okay. So here's my hello. Is that not gorgeous? And this is Coastal Cabana cardstock. Oh. And I'm just going to try to set, it's going to cover maybe some of my points, but that's okay. I just want to make sure it's straight. And I love this die because it gives the look that you satin stitched on the outside of the label. Just trying to keep that whole sewing thing going. Okay. And then all that's left to do, you could stamp another greeting right there, or you can write. I am going to bring in, I used the textured metal dots on my other samples, but I'm going to bring in these 2024, 2026 in color resin dots. And I'm going to use the Summer Splash because I think it complements the Coastal Cabana pretty nicely. And I'm just going to put a couple down. I'm not even working in threes. If I wanted to be technical, my label and my 2 dots are my trio of threes. Sometimes sometimes a card doesn't need all that. I'm just going to put 2 little dots right there, and I'm going to call it done. I am not going to overdo it. I want the quilt block to be the star of the show. And it's done. I cannot wait to make more of these blocks. This is going to be a go-to quilt block for me. So there it is. And we all know that pool party and a pool party Coastal Cabana with cherry cobbler or real red is my favorite. Or poppy parade. So Cheryl says I'm supposed to have this craft room packed. Oh, you're moving. Oh my goodness, that would be so hard to do, Cheryl, especially when you got an idea that pops in your head and you want to go and do it. So there is our quilt card, and now I want to show you what happens when, let's say you don't have dies, you don't have a machine that will do any embossing. Well, here's a card. My circle is just the 2-inch circle punch. There's no quilting on here at all. It has that nice flat, like a flat paint look to me. So here is no die, just a circle punch, no quilting, but look at how different of a feel the cards have when you do add texture. The good thing is you're not left out making quilt cards just because you don't have it all. Okay? So that's what it looks like. And here I use a different green, but also on the inside, this paper has the fruit. Different fruits have a different background. Like there's no pineapple in this print, but there's pineapple here. So I just brought in the different fruit, changed my colors around, changed my background. So there's those. And then I did a couple more, and the only thing I changed was the die. This is from the Stylish Shapes, so it looks like it's stitched on the outside edge. And this is the, oh, I put them away. It's Spotlight on Nature. It's just the different design. So just to show you different dies, punches, what it can look like, okay? And now I want to show you the two that I did with the Storybook Designer Series paper. And for whatever reason, my boho blue looks more purple than boho blue. I don't know why. But here are the cards using the Designer Series paper from the Storybook collection. These would make really, if you said welcome baby, I think these would make really pretty baby cards, especially if you get the paper pack that comes with the sheets where you just punch out the die cuts of the animals and things like that. You don't even have to have the stamps and the dies. The paper alone comes with some punch out dies that you could do. And so you could put animals in it. But I just think that it's got a really pretty look for baby cards. These are not baby cards. My focal paper, this might look familiar to you because I put it on the back of the barn quilts for January. But this was my focal paper, and I brought in the rest of the colors just to make this pretty. I could use this for anything. And some of the pieces aren't actually from the Designer Series paper, the 12 by 12 sheets that are double-sided. These, well, it's from that, but you get a sheet, a couple of sheets that you can cut apart that look like there's a frame in the back. I cut up some of those pieces just so that I could bring in more colors. So I looked at what was in that pack, and I did sacrifice a couple of those pieces that could have been used for something else, but it brought in some pinks that I wanted, and yeah, so that's how I did these. And then I used the pink strawberries on the back, and this is one of those pieces that come in that sheet that you can cut apart. It's a little longer than this. I cut some of it off, but instead of using it on, I don't know what they may have intended it for scrapbooking, I just cut it down and put it on the back of my card. So that's what it looks like in that paper. And then again, here are I wanted to do the fruit salad for the live, and so these are the cards that I did with that, and the different looks, whether you're using a punch for your sentiment or you're using a die. So I hope you that you enjoyed today's live. I will work on the PDF that will upload in a few days to the files over in our group. It's fairly easy to follow along if you just watch the replay back. You know, you're doing the same thing. It's just repetitive. You're just turning that quilt block a quarter of a turn and putting those geese flying straight. And just until you've got all four sides complete, and then you fill in the center. You could have put a cluster of something maybe behind your sentiment, but I really wanted the pattern to be the star of the show. And again, this quilt block is called Circling Geese. So if you're wondering what the block is called, that's what it is. And this is a good reminder that you don't have to have it all. You can still make quilt cards and not do the quilting or fancy edges to your dies. This is just a punch. Don't let anything keep you from making a beautiful quilt card. Use what you have, okay? So thank you, and I can't wait to see your cards popping up over in the group. A reminder to myself, I want to link Amber's Etsy shop with all the quilting motif. Anything you want, she can do. She's just the sweetest person in the world. And what was the other? Oh, the Google form. I was going to do the Google form for card play. That's right, for card play. Yes, it does fit into an A2, Kathy. I haven't tested it, but that's what Robin says. Yes, see, here's the envelope. So it will fit into an A2. Look, just like that. Easy peasy. So you're good to go. You're all set. You're welcome, everybody. And again, I can't wait to see what your cards look like. Check out our group. Lots of sharing. Rather free form. You know, I want you all to create and share your creations with others. And that's it. Go enjoy the rest of your Saturday, the rest of your weekend. Stay warm. And I will see you. So far, I'm planning on next Thursday at 11:30. This last week and this week, there's a friend of mine who may need my help going to her doctor's appointments. So I want to help her out. I just need to make sure nothing changes with her appointment. Right now, it was for Thursday. No, it wasn't for Thursday. I don't know. I have to get a hold of her, but I want to help my friend out. And so I know you're all understanding and flexible. So if I have to make any changes, I'll let you know. But I'm going to quit rambling, okay? I'd love to hang out with you all day. But you've got cards to make. So I'm going to let you go. And I will just check in with you all here in the group, okay? See you next week.